Ever wondered how to preserve your harvest for longer periods? Many folks have grappled with this question, especially those who grow their own food and want to enjoy their bounty all year round. Today, we're delving into the world of food preservation, specifically focusing on the methods of canning, freezing, and drying. First off, let's talk about canning. Canning is a method that involves sealing food in airtight containers and then heating them to kill or weaken any remaining bacteria, yeasts, or molds. There are two types of canning: water bath canning and pressure canning. Water bath canning works best for high-acid foods like fruits, jams, jellies, salsas, and tomatoes with added acid. To do this, fill glass jars with the prepared food, seal them with a lid and a ring, then immerse them in boiling water for a specific period. On the other hand, pressure canning is suitable for low-acid foods like vegetables, meats, and poultry. The process is similar to water bath canning, but instead of boiling water, the jars are placed in a pressure canner that reaches higher temperatures, ensuring the destruction of the bacteria that causes botulism, a potentially deadly food poisoning. Next up, freezing. Freezing is probably the easiest method of preserving your harvest. It involves lowering the food's temperature to a point where microbial activity is slowed down. Freezing works best with vegetables like beans, corn, peas, and leafy greens. Before freezing, blanch your vegetables by plunging them into boiling water for a short time, and then quickly cooling them in ice water. This process helps to kill enzymes that can cause loss of flavor, color, and texture. After blanching, pat the vegetables dry. Pack them in freezer bags or containers and then pop them in the freezer. Last but not least, drying. Drying works by removing the water from the food, which inhibits the growth of bacteria, yeasts, and molds. You can dry your harvest in several ways: air drying, sun drying, oven drying, or using a food dehydrator. For air and sun drying, simply spread out the food in a well-ventilated area or under direct sunlight. For oven drying, set your oven to its lowest setting, place the food on a baking sheet, and leave the door slightly ajar. If using a food dehydrator, follow the manufacturer's instructions. Remember, drying times can vary depending on the type of food, its size, and the drying method used. Once the food is dried, store it in airtight containers in a cool, dark place. To summarize, canning, freezing, and drying are all effective methods for preserving your harvest. Canning involves sealing and heating food in jars, with water bath canning suitable for high-acid foods and pressure canning for low-acid foods. Freezing, on the other hand, involves blanching vegetables before storing them in the freezer. Lastly, drying involves removing water from the food using various methods and storing it in a cool, dark place. Remember, each method has its own benefits and is better suited to certain types of foods. So, consider what you're trying to preserve and choose the method that best suits your needs. Now, go forth and enjoy your harvest all year round.